The roar of tank engines, the smell of gunpowder, the desperate fight for freedom. D-Day, a moment that defined a generation. But among the heroes who stormed Hitler's fortress, one man's story stands out as truly extraordinary. Geoffrey Stuart. Born Gerd Werner Stein, he was a German Jew who found himself fighting on the Allied side. How did a boy from a comfortable life in Nazi Germany end up in a British tank spearheading the liberation of Europe? Geoffrey's early years in Frankfurt an der Oder were idyllic. His father, Gerd Stein, a decorated veteran of the First World War, ran a thriving fashion empire. They lived a life of comfort, surrounded by staff, a testament to their success. But this prosperity was built on sand. As the 1930s wore on, the shadow of Nazism grew darker. In November 1938, the violence of Kristallnacht tore through Germany. Their family shop was destroyed, Gerd Stein was arrested, and in a tragedy that would haunt Geoffrey forever, his mother Ella was unable to escape, perishing later in Ravensbrück concentration camp. At just 16, Geoffrey secured a place on a Kindertransport train, leaving Berlin and the horrors behind. His arrival in England was far from easy. He was placed in a bleak holiday camp in Dover Court, where the bitter winter conditions were almost unbearable. He recalled a hot water bottle freezing solid overnight, a stark symbol of his new cold reality. Eventually, he was released from internment and began to rebuild his life in London, finding work and a semblance of normalcy, even as the war raged around him. As the war escalated, Geoffrey felt compelled to join the fight. He volunteered for the British Armed Forces, aspiring to become a pilot. But his status as a German-born enemy alien made joining the Royal Air Force impossible. Undeterred, he found his calling in the Royal Armoured Corps, or ROC. His reasoning was pragmatic. There was no walking involved and no digging of foxholes. Your tank provided everything. After initial training, Gerd Stein officially became Geoffrey Stuart, shedding his past identity to embrace his new role as a British soldier. By spring 1944, the air buzzed with anticipation. Preparations for D-Day were immense. Over 1 million Allied troops were hidden in secret, camouflaged camps along the southern coast, a monumental task of deception. Geoffrey recalled the electrifying night of D-Day itself, as his heavy tanks rumbled through quiet towns, women appearing in their nightwear to wave them on, sensing the momentous journey ahead. The following morning at the embarkation port, exhausted soldiers were given an unexpected breakfast of tinned peaches and cream, a luxury in wartime. Geoffrey's wry thought, "This is feeding the pigs before the slaughter." Early the next morning, D-Day +1, they embarked, landing on Gold Beach with no resistance, a deceptive calm before the storm of combat. Geoffrey, a radio operator in A Squadron of the 8th Hussars, soon found himself in the heart of the most brutal fighting, particularly in the treacherous town of Villers-Bocage. The roads were narrow, flanked by immense hedgerows, perfect for German ambush. Identifying hidden German anti-tank guns often meant deliberately drawing their fire, a terrifying, nerve-shattering strategy. The lead tank would work for only 6 to 8 minutes, knowing their high chance of being hit. Once the front and rear tanks were knocked out, the road became a death trap. But this grim tactic was the only way to locate the enemy. Geoffrey also recounted a chilling moment when a Frenchman was directing German artillery from a tower. His crew, with grim determination, crashed their tank through a farm building, bringing the tower down and silencing the deadly fire. The regiment's biggest, most brutal battle was in Caen. They spent 2 weeks on the city's outskirts, as Caen endured relentless Allied aerial bombardment. Montgomery refused to attack until he could take it with minimal casualties, a strategic standoff. Geoffrey vividly remembered one night, looking out of his tank, reading a newspaper in the intense light of the burning city, the small print clear against the inferno. After 2 harrowing weeks, they finally entered Caen on July 10, 1944, a city reduced to ruins. From there, his regiment continued their grim work, clearing Germans from the surrounding areas. On February 18, 1947, Geoffrey Stuart was demobilized, leaving military service as a war substantive sergeant. Just over a month later, on March 29, 1947, the final poignant chapter of his transformation was complete. Geoffrey Stuart was granted British citizenship. From a comfortable Jewish childhood, shattered by Nazism, to a refugee in a new land, and finally to a courageous tank commander who fought for the very freedom he was denied. Geoffrey's story is a profound testament to resilience, sacrifice, and the enduring human spirit. His quiet heroism echoes through history, reminding us of the extraordinary individuals who answered the call in humanity's darkest hour.